Hey everybody, welcome back to the Sublimation Life. Today we're going to do a designing tutorial for sublimation projects. There's been quite a bit of curiosity lately on how we get that wavy text look and effect in our projects, and I'm going to go ahead and show you the step-by-step process on how to achieve that look. Let's get started. So go ahead and open up your web browser. I use Google. You can use whatever you want that works for you, but I use Google. You'll go ahead and type in Photopea, bring that website up, and this is what will come up. The online photo editor is what you want. It's an online editor, so you don't have to download any software, which is really nice. This is what's going to come up, just a starting black background canvas. From here, you'll go to File and New. This window will pop up. This is where you'll choose the size of your canvas. You can choose pixels, inches, centimeters. I'm going to leave it as it is because this is the format that I like to use for the projects I'm working on right now. You'll push create. And it'll bring up this canvas for you, sized to what you chose to make it. Now from here, you're going to go to your left sidebar, and this little T is your type tool. You'll click it. There's two options, type tool and vertical type tool. The top one is your horizontal normal typing. The bottom one is if you want to do up and down typing. This will automatically do it for you, but I just want the regular typing. You'll go ahead and make a box just like so and type your word or phrase. I'm just going to do the sublimation life, just like that. You can make your box smaller to where it just kind of hovers right around there. And now go over to the left bar again, click the little arrow, the move tool, and now you can freely move your image, words, wherever you want. Now it's small, that's how it starts. To be able to resize, you go up to the upper bar, transform controls, click that. Your arrows and boxes will now come up so you can move it and resize it to whatever you need the size to be. All right, so that's a good size for me. We'll go ahead and leave it at that. Once you have your size done, you're going to go back to the text and you're going to change your font. This arrow right here is for your fonts. It comes up with previews, which is really cool. You can see it before you choose it and then kind of select it from there. So I'm just going to find a font that I want to use and we'll go with that. Okay, so now that you have your font the way that you want it and it looks nice and it's sized properly, what we're going to do is go back to our text and we're going to go up to the upper bar and there's a warp button. You'll click that. And it comes up with a box you can move off to the side so you can see what you're doing. And the style button here is what we're going to use. It brings up a list of different ways you can manipulate the text. There's one that doesn't arch. You can adjust the bend so it's not so big. And then there's a whole bunch. There's one that looks like a fish. And the one that I like to use though is the flag. And that gives that really wavy effect. Now there's options as far as the bend, how much you want. You can do more, less, the other way, whatever you prefer. I like it right about there. Horizontal distortion, it just kind of makes one side bigger, one side smaller. Same with the vertical distortion, it makes the top bigger or the bottom bigger, whichever you're trying to get your achieved look to be. I just want mine at 0 though. So that looks good there. Go and push OK and make sure you push OK because otherwise it's going to revert if you just click the X. So now that we have our wavy text there, what we're going to go and do is go over to your right side panel here, highlight the text, and we're going to make duplicate layers just like this. And I'll explain the reasoning that I like to do this versus typing it all out. It's just a little bit easier to work with. So you'll go back to your arrow and just drag your layers and separate them. So now you have 3 layers. Now you can go ahead and type it all out at the same time. Type a word, push enter, type another word. I like to do it this way though because I can manipulate the spacing between the layers. Whereas if it's all typed out together, you can't manipulate it. Now I'm going to kind of offset them dramatically just to show you how to easily align everything. And what you're going to do is go over to the right panel again, have the top layer highlighted, go down to your bottom one, click and hold Shift key and click your lower layer, and that'll highlight everything that you want. Now go up to the upper bar and you have alignment tools. So to align them all up and down perfectly, go ahead and just push the center horizontally button, and they're all lined up perfectly and aligned for you. And to adjust your spacing in between the layers, you'll do equal gaps button. And that evenly distributes the lines for you. I do want mine a little bit closer, so I'm going to go ahead and adjust the positions. All right, so I like that there. And now to go ahead and make it all one image and one text, you'll go back over, make sure all of your layers are highlighted that you want as your text, right click, and go down to merge layers. And now it's one entire font instead of 3. So you can move them and do whatever you need there. The background right below the font, the text button, you can remove that by pushing the little eye icon, and that'll take that background out as well, just like that. Now, if you want to resize this to make it shorter or taller, go ahead and click on the text, go up to these 3 lines right here. This is the properties, and unclick keep aspect ratio unless you wanted to just resize, which you can do with these arrows here anyways. So I like to unclick that so I can freely move my text in different ways. So let's do 900, and you can see how it kind of shortened that up there. We might go to 875. There we go. And then click those 3 lines again to get that box away. And that looks pretty good there. I don't necessarily like how it flows down. So what you can do in that case is just rotate it a little bit. And now it's more of an even flow wavy text instead of a one's higher and one's lower side. Now from here, go ahead and remove the background and just kind of center this into the middle there as much as possible. And that is the step-by-step way of making that wavy text. So you'll go ahead and go up to your file here and go down to save. Go ahead to export as. You'll do PNG save, and yes, that is okay if you're going to upload into your Cricut design space if you're cutting out. And then also if you upload it into Inkscape like I use for printing sublimation images, it's going to work both ways. So just save it as the PNG, it'll work out just as well. From here, again, you can resize it if you need, and you can go ahead and title it. I'm not going to worry about that just because this is a practice show. Go ahead and save. Ignore whatever promotion comes up. And now I'm going to go ahead and open my Cricut design space and upload it for you to show you what it'll look like. All right, so here it is in the Cricut design space for if you're going to cut it out with your Cricuts. Otherwise, you can upload it like whatever software you use for your sublimation printing, you can just upload it into there. This is what it's going to look like in the Cricut design space though. So as you can see, even though it was downloaded as a PNG file, it still acts as an SVG file, which is really cool with that website that it does that for you. You'll go over to Make It. And it still shows as a cut file. So you can still cut it and it's going to come out just great for you. All right, so let me just show you really quick what it would look like if you're just going to print sublimation. I'll just bring my Inkscape up. Same thing, is uploaded as a PNG. You put it into your box that is the template for the paper, and you just go up to File and print as you normally would. And that's how we get that wavy text effect. All right, if you guys enjoyed this tutorial, if it was helpful for you, go ahead and boop that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share for others so they can get helped as well. Have a wonderful day and happy crafting.